Alright, guys, Matt Preston, Built Prado. Welcome back to Built Cruisers. Oh no. Alright, g'day guys, Matt Preston, Built Cruisers. Welcome back to another video. Now, very exciting. As you can see behind me, we've got a lot of gear to get through today. Now, some of this is from VicOFFroad. Shout out to them guys, they're awesome. But the rest of it, I've actually bought myself, and it's King's gear, just sort of normal gear that most people would buy anyways. So we've got a gas cooker, brand new one for the Tasmania trip coming up. And we've also got a bag for that, 12-volt heater blanket, and the fire pit. So that's all the King's gear, and pretty much we're gonna get straight into it. This isn't a tech channel, but if you're interested, I got a brand new wireless mic. There it is right there, 155 bucks Amazon, and it's wireless and it comes with two. So hopefully the audio quality is much better for you guys, because lots of videos, as you may be aware of, it's been really noisy or loud, and I've just had to film and it doesn't sound great. So I'm super stoked to finally upgrade the audio on this channel. And I also bought a big gimbal for the camera. Okay, I figure we get through the Hima products first, because one of them is a table and I can put everything on the table, so that's just gonna be smarter. So pretty much what we've got here is, like I said before, a Hima camp table. Now the cool thing about this one is it's sort of one you open up like a chair almost, and it's got that rolling top that's like little aluminium slats, which I really do like that design. And it sort of packs almost like a mini chair, as you can see there. So inside we get the user manual, won't need that. And we also get a little bag here. Now this is a little bag that goes under, and then on the end here we have the little adjusters, so you flip that open and that goes in and out, and that's your height. So we'll just put it on max for now. All right, then you get two sets of these poles, and you just open them up and click them together, and then these sit on top of the frame. Okay, cool, that's the frame fully done. Now let's put the bars on. Now these are plastic, so they are very light. And you can see on the end how it's got a hooking cap. So that just needs to hook over the end of the pole. And then there's just a few final clips to clip in. All right, cool, that's it fully set up, pretty straightforward. These clips in here are on sliders, so just make sure you put them in line before you slap them down, otherwise you might smash it down and it won't even be over the pole. It's quite a nice finish. It is like crazy light, so like I can just pick this up like really easy, you know, which is a good thing, I guess. But also you want your tables to be heavy to an extent so it can hold down the weight really well. And you know, the board's like sort of slide a little bit that way, but I'm just being picky, like it's literally fine. So and it's got its little Hima brand on the corner here, which looks really nice. So this is on max height for reference, and I'm a tall guy, and that will obviously not really work standing up because I'm way up here, but it is still possible to use like that. And 9 times out of 10 you probably have a chair around here. So this little mesh here, this simply has little Velcro straps, and they'll go around on each pole, and it'll create a little sack to store extra items in. Okay, I've got you guys really far away, but you should still hear me perfectly fine with the new wireless mic, which is great. But the reason I got you so far away is because the next item is a chair, and I thought you'd want to see it in proportion to me. So this is sort of the new Hima chair they've released. Now, I've seen pictures of it and videos of it. It's more on the luxurious end, which is really nice. So I've actually already been in here, I'll be honest. But you've got your Hima bag, very similar to the table over there. And we simply, like a traditional chair, take this off, and here we are. So if you've seen any of the Dartsy chairs, this is to me kind of similar, but pretty much when you fold it out, it's got these two big legs at the back. So you sort of just push it out like normal, and there's no clips or anything. You literally just like push it out and that's it. And it will just hold itself, which is really nice. Now, features I've noticed instantly, on the side you've got pockets for phone, storage, any of that sort of stuff. And then on the other side you actually have a little cup holder that flips out, which is pretty cool. I haven't really seen that before. And at the top here, you've just got a bit more padding, so when you sit in it, you've got that little bit extra sort of room up there near your shoulders for me, but for a normal person might be where your head is. I will say as well, the feet, as you can sort of see here, are really chunky and they're on a pivot. So just little premium features like that they've put on this chair, where a normal chair wouldn't really have feet that pivot like that. We are now onto the last VicOFFroad item. Now this is really exciting. This is bunker recovery gear If you do remember, I do have the bunker winch installed on this Prado and I've had no dramas with it so far. So this is the exact same sort of underlining brand, and pretty much it's a massive recovery rope, okay? So, or you know, snatch rope, whatever you want to call it. So in the box, it looks like a shoe box. You have a little bag to store the recovery gear in. And here we have two giant like shackles. And the last thing in the box itself is the rope itself, which is a kinetic sort of style of recovery rope. So yeah, in the box here, 30-foot recovery rope, it's American, and 24-inch soft shackle. So that's what's inside the box, just those three main items. Yeah, so this is just the recovery bag, which is a pretty straightforward little canvas bag. It's just got bunker on the front, so yeah, pretty easy. That's all been like PVC lined on the inside, so I wouldn't say waterproof, but if you know, obviously it's going to get really muddy and wet, you've got to put it in here and it will still be able to, you know, the bag won't get destroyed so quickly. Now here we have the two shackles. Okay, so these, I've had a few before. Okay, so these both shackles are rated 15.4 tons, and on here it recommends you do about 2 to 3 times the weight of what you're pulling. So obviously the Prado weighs, let's say 2-3 ton at most. You know, I should easily be able to pull anything that's, you know, 3 ton range, and obviously the car can only really tow 3.5 ton anyways. But yeah, so that's really good and handy to know that they're super over engineered pretty much, which is what you want. And you also get this little, not sure you can see there, but it's like a little band that says bunker. These you normally use to put around these. So these sleeves will go over it and it'll be another layer of protection. And that's just to, because obviously if you put these on a sharp D shackle, like a metal object, it will tear quicker and put holes in it. And that will go on just like that. Okay, so now obviously we've got the snatch rope itself. Now, normally these have a rubber core, and that's how they get the sort of like kinetic rubber factor compared to your straight thin straps that don't do that. So, which means that these can pull a lot more weight as well, which is handy. And it reduces stress on the car's transmission pulling and the, you know, the source you're pulling it from and all that sort of stuff, because it puts a bit of slack in it. So about 15.4 ton, which is just crazy, is what this can tow, but they recommend you do 2 to 3 times less of that. So around about the 5 ton realm wants to be your max somewhat. But yeah, super high quality, super thick. Not sure you can see that on camera, but this is quite chunky stuff. And it hasn't, you know, it's been in the box since factory, so it's a little bit stiff, but once you use this once or twice, it will loosen up a bit. And you can see just sort of this section here, that's where it's all come in on itself again, and that's how it's so strong, because it's pulling on itself essentially. And yeah, this will pull anything out. I'm not even worried at all. You'd pull out a Unimog with this, and they're just really big components on all the things. But this will fit nicely in the bag here. Well, that took a little while, but it's all in the bag. That's really nice that that's packed up that small, because I'll probably chuck this in the Prado and have it in there full time as a backup. For, you know, if you inevitably have to pull someone out or you get yourself stuck. Okay, I've now changed location. It is pretty much pitch black, and I've never done this before. I've actually got the Prado right next to me, and I've put the lights on max brightness just sort of on my face. And if this lighting works, maybe this is good. Maybe I can actually film in the dark, which I normally never do because it's too hard to film. And now we're going into the King's gear that I bought sort of for myself for this Tasmania trip coming up. This is a 12-volt blanket. Now, in Tasmania at night, you will get past 0 degrees from what we've read, even colder if you're gonna stay in like Cradle Mountain, which we are. So this is quite simply a 12-volt blanket. Now this was about 50 bucks from King's, and obviously I could have got, you know, Kmart one or Anaconda or whatever, but these normally come up with pretty good deals. And I actually combo bought this with the fire pit, which I always wanted, and it was a better deal to get it like that. So pretty much first impressions, super soft, what you'd expect. Now, the measurements for this are 1.4 by 1.2 meters, so it's a bit of a weird size. It's not a full 2 meters, but obviously maybe just because that's how they cut the price down, don't really know. So it's got this blue sort of checkered pattern color, which looks fine. And then, yeah, literally right here next to me, we've got the controls, and it's just got a heat button and a time button. So your time is 60 minutes, 45 and 30. I'm gonna have power in the rooftop tent, which will be really exciting. And pretty much I'll be able to plug this in there, and if I want, I can even have it on before I get in the bed and then turn it off if I sort of don't trust it to turn itself off. Otherwise, I'm just gonna run it as it is. And I think these draw about 2 amp, so nothing crazy. And also one more thing, we actually only got one because as we know, most rooftop tents are only 1.4 meters wide anyways. So literally just gonna get this, probably have it 1.2 meters width that way, and then just have the rest lying down. So we're gonna get 2, but it's not really worth it and there's no room up there. So this is the best solution. Okay, so not to be too excited, but these 2 products are probably the most excited I am for. The one on my left here is a little canvas bag / carry case for this item here, which is the brand new released single burner gas stove from Kings. Now, obviously, you know, people are like, you know, why don't you go Coleman or whatever, you know, for a gas stove. So yeah, I've gone with the single Kings stove here. Now, we've had a premise one and we've had it for about 5 years, like quite a long time, and it was well used on multiple trips of multiple people, but the sparker doesn't work and it's a little bit flogged, and now the gas line doesn't work anymore. So we've got a new one for Tasmania. Now, the reason I kind of went with the Kings one in the end was because they did the best single burner that I could sort of find. And we went in all of Anaconda and BCF and couldn't really find, there was one more that was sort of a single, but it just didn't look very good to me. So I'm very excited to try this one out. And like I said before, we wanted a single one because it was very rare we had sort of 2 pans going at once. And obviously that's a handy thing to have, but it is almost double the size. And I just wanted something a bit smaller that can fit also on my little drawer table, because I've got that little bar table extender thing on the King's drawer. The double one took up the whole thing, this won't. So I'm very excited to see what it's like. Alrighty, let's get in the stove first. Okay, you're presented with the user manual and then the cooker itself straight in. There we go. Now included, it does also say when you buy it, it does come with multiple fittings, because obviously you can burn this with sort of different gas. So, but I'm going to be running this off a traditional gas bottle. Ours is quite big if you've seen it before, and this will be the bad boy I'll use to run it off, which is very good that it comes with that in the box ready to go. So I'm pretty sure it's actually a 3/8. That could be wrong though. But as you can see, it's just like a PS5. You got foam either end, pull them off, get rid of them. And then underneath we have the cooker. So it's all metal, which is good, that's what you want. And the clip's quite strong, you really have to sort of slam it off. And, oh, you get some more foam in there, that's nice. And there we go, so that is the single stove. So a nice small size, and it does have this little section here which can come off as well if you just want an open flame. Not really sure why you'd want that. So maybe also to clean it, that's probably why it comes off. Okay, so I'm not sure you can see there, but there's this little metal hinge bit that comes out, and you simply hook that in this little slot and it hooks back, and that stops the hinge from falling, because it does like stop itself, but I think over time that will wear out and break. So they put that little hinge in there just to sort of hold its own weight, which I think is really nice. And I really do like the simplicity of it, how it's really small, really light, and hopefully you can see that it's literally like a sandwich press. It's literally just got 2 dials, one for on and off and one's your spark. So it's literally the same as all the other ones. Okay, so here's the stove, right? You've got one little sort of spot here where you can plug something in. And then I turned it over and I was very confused, and I was like, what is going on here? There's like an exposed bit here and a bit here. But this section here, you literally just pull it out and it sort of comes out as one thing like that. And that can obviously suit that sort of medium, large size of little, I forgot what they're called, but they're like a tiny gas bottle and they're like dark green. But this can actually fit to the end of the hose that they supply, which is this. That will go on there. And then this end is for your normal gas bottle. So that is how it all works. So this sort of hides inside itself, and then you pull it out when you need it, which is a very interesting way to do it. Well, there we go. That is a massive flame as well. I'm not sure you guys can see that on camera, but that is proper big. Yeah, that's really hot. Well, that's nice. That just works. It's a very nice blue flame, and there's actually a lot of rings on it as well. It's even putting out a real flame every now and then. So now I'm going to try and put it on max. I'm sure you can see that there's literally like just a whole flame there. That's crazy. Okay, cool. So super happy with the gas stove. That seems to work really nicely. The real test will obviously be to cook a proper meal on it and see how it performs. But yeah, I'm really happy with the frame and the spread. And the dial, you do have to turn it you kind of keep turning it past full. Like you turn it quite far, which is a bit deceiving. Lots of normal gas cookers, you just sort of slightly turn it and that's it. So this is the canvas bag for it. So pretty simple, nice little box there, covered in plastic, and here it is. So it's a really nice grey colour, which I do like, and it's got that sort of blue on the inside, same as the King's gear. And what I can tell straight away is that it's the high quality range of Kings. So it's Adventure Kings Plus, which is what it says there. And yeah, this is literally, you could use it for anything, but it's made for this very cooker. So we're going to put the cooker in here, and yeah, should be good. Okay, it's been a little while since that last video, but this is the last product. Now it's the King's folding fire pit, premium fire pit as it says. So these are starting to pop around everywhere now. And obviously the main advantage is that they're meant to be the stainless steel. So, less rust obviously because it's not steel and it's a lot lighter. And this one does come, well, they'll come with an included carry bag. So let's unbox it and see what it's like. Okay, so in the box we're presented with it already in the carry bag. And it does actually have these little Velcro straps here, which are nice. So you can actually hook that in and Velcro it shut, which we will be taking this to Tasmania, which will be super handy for when we have fires and the ground's completely wet and we just want like a nice small fire. This will be perfect. So let's get it out the bag now. Okay, here it is. So one layer is obviously the fire pit itself that will fold up, which is this massive thing. And then the other one is the base of it. And it has a 12-month limited warranty, but I'm pretty sure all of the King's gear has that. Cool, that's it fully done up. So as you can see, it's now moves as one unit, and it does also have these carry handles here, but these would get really hot as I'd imagined if you're actually using this full on. But yeah, there's not much more to it than that other than actually trying to have a fire in it and see how it goes. But there's a lot of companies right now that are doing a very similar design, like Dutch, you've got one, even like VicOFFroad, San Hima have one. And they all look very, very similar. They're all probably the same. But this one's obviously got the Adventure Kings logo in it. You can see here, Adventure Kings logo, and it's got 5 little breathing holes here on each side. And there are also like a few little gaps in here, but that will just make it be able to breathe a bit more. And I've got to say, it does look pretty like sleek, pretty happy with it. All right, so I'm pretty stoked with this. Can't wait to use that at camp now. I know some people don't like King's gear, but I think I've already said it before, but I just think it's, at least they get people out camping and doing the things they love. And also they're budget, affordable friendly. Like, because the Dutch equivalent of this would be like over 300 bucks. Whereas this, you can get on special for like 80 bucks. So I really just think, depends how much money you want to spend. But they do almost the same thing. This might just not last as long. So, and at the end of the day, it's just a fire pit. So it's just going to get, warped anyways by the heat, and it's going to get used well. So alrighty guys, well that is all the new camping items I've got for this video. Now there's quite a few random items in there, but hopefully you enjoyed. And yeah, I really enjoy unboxing camping items. I just think it's really cool, all the new things that are coming out. And yeah, let me know what you think of the audio quality, because this is a new mic setup and it should be better because the mic's right in front of my face instead of way over there. So if the mic sounds good, maybe just give me a thumbs up or something so I know. And we'll see you next time on Built Cruisers.